Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Amjad Lawati. I'm the Assistant General Manager of Cards and E-Banking within Bank Muscat. Thank you very much for everybody who is attending this webinar, and thank you for COMEX for inviting me. Dear all, banking in the eyes of many across generations has been deemed as a very complicated thing to do. And to ease up the process for our beloved customers, bankers, along with our tech specialist partners, have always been reimagining how banking should be and working relentlessly to achieve this. In the following 15 to 20 minutes, I will take you through my personal journey with banking. I hope you don't find that boring. I'll take you through my personal journey with banking and how reimagining banking have been a never-ending strive, if I may say, for innovation in the quest of making banking as simple, as easy, and as accessible as possible to all our customers. Okay, I think I have a problem with my slideshow. I cannot move to the next screen. Yes, okay. Okay. So I'll take you through this journey to show you how reimagining banking has been the strive of innovation in making this banking as simple, as easy, and as accessible as possible to all our customers. I promise I will try to make this as least boring as possible. I promise there will be no complicated process flow diagrams, as minimum information as possible. I'll try to make this as engaging as an online webinar could be. So I will start with the first time I ever had an interaction with a bank. It was the first time I ever opened a bank account. That was long ago, but I wouldn't say when, so you guys don't think I'm very old. It was by going to a physical branch, and they gave me a physical savings book, a little booklet that you can put in a printer in the branch, and it records all your transactions. So that should record my balance, my transaction. They also gave me a small, beautiful card that had, my name on the front of it and a little bit black stripe on the back. And that was like, 2 or 3 weeks later. I was told then that I could use this card on a magical machine that can give me cash anytime during the day, during the night. And that machine is called an ATM, the one you see on the top here. It's a big, ugly looking machine with a green and black screen, and it only dispensed 10 riyals as a minimum. Now, given the fact that I only had 20 riyals in my account at that time, you can see how many times I could really visit that ATM ugly machine at that time. Also, this magical card was told that can be used on a strange name machine called a zip-zap machine, the one you see in the bottom here. I can buy things wherever possible because the number of places that accepted or had a zip-zap machine was very limited then, but I could actually buy things without having to pay cash. Now, how did this zip-zap ugly machine knew I had money was a question that I had on my mind for a very long time. I found out a little bit later when I worked as an intern in a bank during one of the summer holidays. I was put behind a screen and a phone answering calls from shops, and those people on the other end of the line would give me a card number and an amount. I input those on a system, and voila, I give them an authorization code that they could claim money with later on. That was not the only thing happening on the phone at that time. There were few banks in the region who have started to set up what they call call centers. So you could actually call your bank after normal working hours. That was magical then. I went to study abroad. And unfortunately, the country I went to wasn't back then advanced in banking. A few years later, when I came back, things have changed. ATMs are less ugly now, and that zip zap machine is now replaced with better looking POS machines that are connected to the bank through a telephone line. You can see it was magical then, easing up the customer journey and hence making this machine more and more popular than its predecessor, that zip zap machine. More call centers started emerging with a technology called IVR, and now this IVR technology can help you do things without even talking to anyone from the comfort of your home or the comfort of your office. Not too long ago, not too long after that, banks offered their customers an SMS banking service. So customers could do transactions by simply sending an SMS. Well, not really simple SMSs. They were like almost programming language you need to know, star S21, star account number, hash account number, etc. But at that time, it was easier than going to a branch and doing a transaction or waiting in queues. Banks started offering their services also on the internet. So online banking websites started emerging from different banks. You could do some transactions from your PC, even on your laptop, at home or at office. Wow. And you know what? That card with my name on the front and the mag stripe at the back started having a shiny golden chip on it. I was told that is for added security, and hence there were new post POS machines installed at more and more shops around. Another thing that was getting popular then was buying things over the net. It's called e-commerce. Little did I know then that this is going to make Jeff Bezos one of the richest human beings on the planet a few years later. Well, that wasn't that long ago, but bankers and technology partners never stopped reimagining banking, realizing breakthroughs. And if we look around us now, even here in Oman, we see huge progressions of the developments I was just talking about, all in the quest of making banking easier, less complicated, and most importantly, accessible anytime, anywhere. With the rising power of mobile devices and the parallel raising mobile network capabilities, we now have mobile banking applications offered by almost every bank in the planet, offering more and more services every day. You look at the mobile banking app today, you look after 3 or 4 months, and you realize that there are more services available now. So mobile banking services are developing and they're being offered every day and enhancing and making it easier to bank every day. In Oman, more than half of consumer or retail banking transactions actually happen via mobile banking application as we speak today, and just keep increasing. Those cards with the shiny chip I was talking about now have an extra logo on them. And that means that these cards have an extra feature that is supposed to make customers transact easier and in a more secured way. In Oman, in a specific, especially during, after the pandemic started, people moved a lot to digital. They don't want to touch anything. The number of transactions using this technology is increasing by the day. Today, more than 60% of the card-present transactions happen contactless. I'm not supposed to say contactless, or should I say Wi-Fi, like our friends at the stores say, but it is called tap. But then everybody's using the term Wi-Fi, maybe because of the logo. But the thing I want to say here is that from maybe 7% back in the last quarter of 2019, we are talking about 60% of the transactions now happening using the contactless technology, just by tapping the card. And it's only increasing. The machines that we saw, that ugly machine with the green and black screen, are now finally looking beautiful. They started to look more beautiful. The machines can do so much more than just dispensing cash. They can accept cash, they can accept checks, you can do transfers, you can do bill payments. These machines are the opportunities for these machines are endless, and they're also just increasing. There are more and more services coming into these machines as we speak. And similarly, we can see the emerging of these beautiful big screened POS machines that look more like mobile phones now. Finally, POS machines and ATMs look beautiful now. Customers can now also use or pay using their mobile phone devices without having a card. Just scanning a QR code. Not only do payments, in fact, you could transfer money, share bills, do a lot of transactions using just the technology on your phone. This example of that is the recent the mobile payment system provided by our Central Bank of Oman, that allows us not only to do payments through QR code, but also you can transfer money or pay something by only having the beneficiary's mobile number, or even her or his alias. NFC cards also, the cards with the Wi-Fi logo, or the right term is the tap cards. The NFC technology, having that on the cards, ATMs started to even be easier to use. You can now just tap your card, enter your PIN number, and walk away with cash. You can also get a new card issued. You can get your statement printed. You can print a checkbook. And in some countries, you can actually open an account using these big, beautiful self-service kiosks. You see, wow, you see where this reimagining banking has brought us so far. On the other side, e-commerce is only also growing bigger and bigger. New e-commerce platforms are emerging every day, everywhere, making it easier for any business to sell its products online, anytime. Merchants do not have to spend money on developing their own applications or website anymore. Just connect with a platform. And that is not only limited to private sector. Even our government organizations are offering services digitally to both businesses and to individual customers in an incredible seamless way. You look at Central Bank, you look at ROP, you look at Ministry of Commerce, you look at Ministry of Manpower. All the government organizations are providing these digital integrations, easing up the processes, both for customers, individuals, or for organizations. We have to admit, this is a never-ending race to the top. We have gone a long way, but we still have so much more to do. If we just look around us, I'm not talking about other continents, just around us, we see more things happening today as we speak. And we are, as a banking community in Oman, working to get all of that to be here in Oman, inshallah, as soon as possible. For example, if you look at the examples I have on the screen now, mobile phone ATM withdrawals. So you don't need your card anymore. You can just tap your phone on an ATM and withdraw cash. You can even do the same on a POS device. No need for card anymore. NFC payments, you don't need your card. Just tap your phone. And in some cases, you don't even need your phone. You can just tap your smartwatch on a POS device and do your shopping. You can chat with your bank now. So there is the rise of this bots thing happening around us. You can chat with your bank and you will have a robot chatting back with you, helping you navigate and how to, how to get things done, guide you through. Not only chat, you can now talk to a robot. There are voice bots, there is voice biometrics technology, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, voice to text, language recognition, endless technologies that are coming every day, making it easier for customers to actually speak to the bank any day, anytime, any moment, having a bot answering you back and guiding you through, making all those replies you get from the bank standard, no room for human error. And these bots are so intelligent. They are learning by the day using AI technologies. And the question that the bot cannot answer today, by tomorrow or the day after, it will be able to answer. This is, not only now you can speak to a robot, but in fact, you can now actually ask your virtual assistant, be it Alexa, Siri, Google, you name it. You can ask your virtual assistant now to do transactions for you. You can do banking transactions. I've seen it with my own eyes in one of the innovation labs of our partners. A gentleman transferring money to his wife's account by simply asking Alexa to do it. He was like, "Hey, Alexa, transfer 50 pounds to my wife's account, please." And Alexa replied, "Okay, thank you." Wow. There is an app for everything nowadays. There is an application for everything, literally everything, creating endless opportunities for us as a banking community to reimagine banking. You can see banking applications and fintechs embedded in a lot of applications now, in e-commerce websites. An example that I recently saw, and that is growing so fast around us, is embedding the buy now, pay later facility in a lot of online stores. Try the checkout page on IKEA website, and you would see that anything you buy from IKEA can be, put on 3 or 4 installments if you are a resident of that particular country. By the way, they deliver to Oman now, huh? I'm sorry, sorry. Okay, so I'm back here. So what I'm trying to say is that the world is going digital. People are going digital. And not only people moving digital, banks as whole are moving digital. Many banks now have unmanned branches with many machines doing almost everything a customer needs to do in a bank branch. So you don't need to go to a manned branch during working hours. You can actually walk into a digital branch. And we see a lot of this happening around us. There are so more and more digital branches with bigger machines doing more and more services for the customers. And not only branches. With the last couple of years or 3 years, we have seen whole new banks being launched as digital only. For example, there is the Sterling in UK, Marcus by Goldman and Sachs, Digibank by DBS, Revolut in UK is huge. Nearby, you can see Live and by Emirates NBD, and recently the newly announced bank by Mohammed Al-Abbar, Zend Bank in the UAE as well. You see, the innovation doesn't stop, and people who are in charge of banks and people who work in banks and people who are in the fintech space and partners of banks, technology partners of banks, never stop to reimagine how the banking experience of customer is supposed to be. There are a lot of technologies, and there are a lot of attempts and new emerging technologies that are happening worldwide that as banking community, we keep on watching and we are carefully monitoring, and a lot of experiments are happening on how to best employ these technologies, and probably someday soon have them available for our customers. And I'll just name a few. I'm not an expert in any of these, but these are the trending technologies that everybody's talking about. Cloud banking, and there is the shared cloud banking or shared cloud computing, big data and the analysis of the big data, and the role of quantum computing in the big data analysis, the Internet of Things and all the opportunities that it brings with it, and all the, not even self-serve, one of the examples of Internet of Things I saw was you put a little sensor on the milk or on the Pepsi next to the Pepsi bottle on your fridge, and the moment you ran out of that particular milk or drink, the IoT chip on that little sensor will send a message to your local grocery store ordering that item, and that will be delivered to you, and payment happens in the background. Blockchain and all the opportunities of the blockchain, the distributed ledgers, the cryptocurrencies, and the official cryptocurrencies. There are central banks now that are actually going to start or have started issuing cryptocurrencies worldwide and region-wise. So what I'm trying to say here is that there is no end to the technologies that banking is looking at, or we as bankers have to look at. I just want to summarize by saying that there is no end to this race. It's a race to the top. It's a one-way direction. You either run and be competitive, or you will be left behind. It's a never-ending strive to what I call reimagining banking. I guess I'm almost running out of time here, but the whole summary of what I said is that let's keep reimagining banking as a banking community, and as customers also, please keep sharing your ideas and experiences with your bankers, and we will keep developing. I cannot say that we will reach there, because there is no destination point. It's just a strive and a race to the top. I say that, and I thank you again for everybody for allocating the time today, and to the COMEX management again for having me. Thank you very much.